And good morning, everyone. We're going to be talking about, and this may be something familiar to some of you already, but using REIN and the MLS on the go, because we've all been there and had issues where, we pull into a neighborhood and our buyers are in the car with us, say, well, what about that house? What about that house? And it didn't show up in our search for whatever reason. Maybe it's under contract or it's not in the price point that a buyer is looking at, but we want to be able to pull it up on our phone. So what I want to do is show you how to navigate some of that. So I'm going to share my screen. So we start here with REINMLS.com, right? So this is where we go to use Matrix. Can everyone see the REIN screen?
Yep.
So we have here on the right, we have the MLS Touch button here, or you can go up to Products and down to MLS Touch. And so this is what you would need to do before you go out in the field and want to search for property, right? So this is something, you do it today, get it on your phone, play around with it. So this is basically your landing page for MLS Touch, which is the app that we use for Matrix. So this is not the public-facing app. This is the agent-facing app. And it gives you an overview of everything, but more importantly, it tells you where to download it. So you can get it on Google Play, you can get it on the App Store. And what we'll do here is we will stop sharing the screen at this point, and then we will come over here. We tested this out the other day, so hopefully this works. Yes. All right, so you can see it says no internet connection. Hopefully it is popping up now. There we go. So to get the MLS Touch app, might help if I spell it correctly. Let me make sure we get the right one. Showing time. Well,
It's got the three little, there you go. That mobile MLS.
MLS client. Oh, there it's hiding.
Kind of.
Yeah, so it's in between things. So this is what it looks like in the App Store, MLS-Touch, and it has the four diagonal bars. So we're going to go ahead and open it. Now, when you first download it, it's going to ask you to log in with your REIN credentials. It's going to put you through some paces. You can also customize it. So if you go to the bottom right, so this little thing in the bottom right that says more, that's your menu. It's called a hamburger in technical jargon, because it looks like a little icon for a hamburger. So if you see on your screen here, you can save searches, my listings, you can look up members. There's a calculator on here, Discover MLS Touch, which takes you through a tutorial. And then there's brand and share. So it's covered on the REIN website as well as here in the app. You can kind of create your own app, as they say, and put the Long & Foster logo on it, or your information, your brand colors, whatever. So you can see here, this is what I have for Johnson & Burge. So we have our logo here at the top. Can you see my pointer when I move on the screen? Okay, good. So we have our team logo as well as Long & Foster. These are our colors. And so when we hit preview, whoops, I got to click it on here, I guess. So when I email a listing out of here, this is what it's going to look like. Pull your chair over here, I can't get the TV to work. So this is what it's going to look like on the screen for our client. So, have a nice, have the, our logo, our colors, things like that. And an obstacle course. And it looks nice and clean, my contact information, is there down below at the bottom. So your clients can see all of that. They can click on show complete listing, which I think this is just a sample, so they can't really get it in this, but they can get all the information and then see our logo there. So that's the brand and share. So again, before you go out in the world, download this, do those updates and integrations so that when you're ready to hit the ground running, you can hit the ground running. Under settings here, you have preferences. It'll walk you through how to do notifications and comparables. I haven't really customized anything because I'm very much on the go with this. And I'm like, okay, let me plug in 123 Sesame Street and see what's going on, or let me see what's nearby. So if we go back home, this is where you start. So if you're standing in front of a house, you can do map search. And let me clear this and see if we can. So here we are at the office. So you see all these little green bubbles that have popped up. These are things that are available on the market right now. And if we zoom in, we can say, oh, okay, here's something nearby. Let's click on that. And then we can slide up. And these are the condos that have an amazing view of our office.
Yeah.
So these are right across the water from us. You can say, okay, it's active, 3 days on the market. Here's your price information here. This little bit, I think that doesn't slide. This slides. So, you can click here to share it with your client. You can send it by SMS, email, send it a message, copy the MLS number, which is helpful. This is something I do a lot, and I just shoot it over to Jan or Jenny or whoever I'm working with to say, hey, look this up and send it over to Kim for a mortgage letter, or, let me copy this MLS number and save it to my notes so that I can look it up later or something.
Can I ask a question there?
Yes.
Right where you were and sharing that, so I've had this on my phone and I've been messing with it, and when you're really close to the property, you could just hit Insta View, and so I know some basics, but I had a hard time sending it by SMS to somebody when I was in. So
So let's play with this here. So
okay.
these are all the contacts in my phone.
Okay.
I don't want to have to deal with this, so I click up here at the top where it says skip.
Right. Okay.
Skip, and now it takes me out into my text messages.
Okay.
So I'm going to send this to you.
All
there
right.
you are, and bam, off it goes.
Okay.
So you should have a text message.
Cool.
One thing, can I butt in? If I erased my contact information out of that text message, I like the way it shows up for my clients better, because I use this app like it's my job, just like we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So when I send it when I send it just like that, it does not pop up a picture of the house. It just sends the whole text message with a link that they have to click.
Right.
But when I erase my name, contact me, hello, and have a look at this property, when I send the link, it just pops up as a picture link, and they can actually see the listing straight up. And then I go in to my text message and I type them, hey, check this out. I just saw this. It made me think of you.
Yep. So here.
Oh, okay.
So it pops up like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right. So as Ryan was saying, I took that information out and I just sent the link, and then I can send a follow-up message along behind it saying, hey, this just popped up. I want to make sure you saw it. Or, hey, remember the condos I was telling you about that we could see from my office? Here's one of them. Let me know if you want to see it. Another thing I use a lot of times is we should go see it. Just because you see it doesn't mean you have to buy it. That usually breaks down some of the hesitation from people.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like once you get them out seeing property, they're more committed than they were if we're just talking about it a whole bunch.
Exactly. Yeah, you're more likely to buy an ice cream cone when you walk into the ice cream parlor than you are standing on the street.
Right.
So the rest of this here, if you see where I'm sliding on the screen, I don't use the showing request because I don't know where that goes. And I remember the home snap days, I would get home snap messages to show property. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. Because each listing has showing instructions, and receiving a request through MLS Touch is probably not one of the showing instructions. Add to cart, I don't use. Let's click on comparables and see what's here. So it comes up automatically, recently sold, price range plus or minus 10%, and you can adjust that. There, distance within 2 miles, same number of bedrooms. Let's just see what happens here. Not much. So it shows you the red bubbles are recent sales. So here's one over at Old Beach Lofts. So might be a good comp. No water view with that. So that may or may not be a good comp. I would definitely rely more on Matrix on your desktop computer or your laptop to do comps than this. This is just going to be something quick to say, okay, look what's here in the neighborhood around us. With this, here we have all the photos and you can slide through them. When you click on the photos, you can then zoom in and like, oh, what kind of plant is it? Oh, I love ferns. Isn't that great? I bet you there's a key hiding under that rock, So you can see all the photos. I wonder if you turn it sideways. Wow. This is new to me, sharing my phone on the screen. So bear with me as I have some fun. So when you're out in public, did it rotate the picture for you guys on screen? Okay. So as you're showing your clients, you can sort of turn it sideways, get the bigger pictures. I like these folks' style. This is nice.
It is nice, I know.
Yeah.
Why is it still on the market? What's wrong with it? It's been on the market 3 days.
What?
Is it?
Who do we sound like?
Though?
Bunch of buyers.
Bunch of buyers. Yeah, what's wrong with it? Let's ask for 50,000 off.
Right.
What's the condo fee over there?
I don't know. We'll look at it.
I don't know. Anyway, I'll check it out.
So here we have a little map. Here, if you click on the map, nothing happens. But if you click on View Map, it'll then take you out to sort of a map app, as it were. And so you can sort of plug around. It's like, where is this? Oh, I see. It's right around the corner from the traffic circle. I got it. Okay. Then you can also click on See in 3D. And sort of gives you this weird sort of Google Earth view of things. And then you can also do directions, and it'll take you out to your mapping app. This is helpful. Like, if it's like, oh, let's go right now. It's vacant. They said we could go see it. I checked with the listing agent. So then you just hit the map and hit go, and off you go. Private notes. This is if you have notes you want to put on the property. Like we would normally write on our MLS sheets. Oh, smells like dog. Oh, smells like cigarette smoke. Oh, smells like Bengay. Whatever notes you have for it, or they really like this one. They said this was a 9 out of 10 on their list. Or we need to ask about the washer and dryer because there's the property is vacant. The listing doesn't say the washer and dryer convey, but there's a washer and dryer there. Those kinds of things. Listing details. So this is where you've got to sort of learn a little bit of how this app works and presents the information. So all of the information from your regular matrix searches here is just categorized a little differently. So if you remember HomeSnap, it would show up here, active, and it would say active, but it would be yellow or orange to show you that it was contingent. So everything in MLS Touch just shows as active or pending or sold. To get to whether or not it's contingent, you have to go into listing details, and then right here, it tells you contingency exists and it says non-contingent. I have put in about 6 requests with REIN to send over to the vendor that produces this app. Can we just have this one little piece of change that we had in HomeSnap where it pops up and it will say, active, but it's orange. So we know, oh, it's active with contingency or something like that. That was the biggest benefit for me with HomeSnap and using it out in the public realm was say, oh, here it is. Yep, I can already see before I get in here and have to poke around too much and click around that it is actually contingent. But this one is not contingent because it says here contingency exists, non-contingent. It tells you the neighborhood name, tells you the ownership type, parcel number, the owner name, and then showing instructions, showing time right there. So again, if I use this showing request here, it's going to send an email. Do you think the agent is going to see that email and get us in a timely fashion? No. So skip that. Scroll down to showing instructions. Call showing time. So we'll either call showing time at that number, or we'll go into our showing time app and request an appointment. If we scroll down a little bit further, agent and office information. This does not give you information about the agent or about the agent's office. This is information for the agents for your office. So you can see it's standard agency, exclusive right. They're offering 3% for the co-broke commission. And this says special commission arrangement. Yes. So they probably have some kind of deal where if they sell it themselves on the Stephanie Clark team, or if this agent sells it himself, maybe he cuts them a deal. I don't know. But that's what special commission arrangement means. There's something special behind the scenes there. Let's collapse these. General description. This is where you're going to spend a lot of other time, right? So we have number of bedrooms, 2, number of bedrooms with ensuite, a primary bedroom, 1. It's 2 bedrooms plus 1 half bath. Total is 6 rooms, 2 stories. Here's your square footage, year built, new construction. See all the same information you have in Matrix on your desktop. Noise zone. You know, a lot of us operating around Virginia Beach know kind of just intuitively where the noise zones are, but if you don't, there it's right there. Here are the schools. And if we collapse that and then go down to features, now it tells us the style, central air, type of flooring, all of that jazz. Other important information, parking, right? 1 space assigned in the lot. Other stuff, here are your appliances here, right? Dryer, disposal, dishwasher, electric range, microwave, refrigerator, trash compactor. These buyers have been holding out to find their perfect home with the trash compactor, and here it is. Let's go see it right now. And washer along with the dryer. So again, here's association management information, just like we have in REIN. Room details, right? What level is everything on? Now, something to know with these, there are ground floor units that are all 1 level, and then there are 2-story units starting on the 2nd floor going up to the 3rd. This is one of the 2nd and 3rd floor units. Remarks and directions. Personally, I think the remarks are a little far down the list, but it has your agent remarks here at the top, and then public remarks here at the bottom. And again, agent remarks are just for internal use for agent communication. Public remarks are what the general public sees. Now, this one is interesting. They say seller will pay over $10,000 at closing unless a lower bid comes in between now and then. So that's interesting. This is why we read the listing before we just go off half-cocked and schedule a showing. You also find a lot of things in the agent remarks, right, that will impact whether or not you want to show the property. I have buyers I'm working with right now. They need a place like right now. Their house is under contract in Warrenton, Virginia, and they need a place to live. Some of the listings that they favorite and they want to see, I see in the agent remarks, seller desires a rent back through the end of July. That's not going to work for my people. So then I read that in the remarks and I say, well, by the way, the agent says they need a rent back until the end of July. Then my buyers say, let's not see it then. We don't want to bother. But they may want to say, you know what, we'll couch surf until the end of July if we like this home. So they may still want to see it, but this may save you a trip out to Suffolk or wherever else your buyers are shopping just to see one house if it's not going to fit their criteria. So then we have, again, full information here. This is an amazing app. Legal, tax and financial information. Here are your condo fees, Donna, $443 a month. And then here's the realist tax status. So it pulls in realist. So you can get a little more information here from the tax record. See the mortgage history, things like that. And let's collapse this. I like to collapse all the boxes and work with them one by one. The mortgage estimator, I haven't really played with because this isn't my job. I always want to refer the buyers back to the lender because they may not be able to afford a $450,000 condo with a $443 a month condo fee. My buyers may be approved of $450, right? But if they have that condo fee, then that may not work for them because the condo fee will impact their affordability. So you can play with that, but always disclose that this information is subject to change. Yes, you think you can afford, $2,800 a month or whatever, but we are actually $3,583 there in the green box. But we need to make sure your lender will allow it. Or if they're VA, we need to make sure that the VA approval is set for this condo. Now, here's the listing agent's information way on down at the bottom. So this says Stephanie Clark, but when we clicked on the showing thing earlier, it said, well, here's Steve Hatter now at the top. So Steve Hatter is the listing agent 1, Stephanie Clark is listing agent 2. You can click the call me button, send email. I don't recommend that. Send SMS, but you can pop that up and say, hey, I want to da-da-da. Again, delete all this out and, put in your normal kind of things like, hi, this is Jeremy at Long and Foster. I'd like to show 100 Pinewood Road, number 132. Or since it's showing time, I would probably reach out to him and say, hey, before I get my buyers all excited about this property, can you tell me, is it still available? And when it's on the market 3-4 days like that, and it looks like it's a great property, and you wonder, like, why is it still available? This should have flown off the shelf on day one. Maybe they just haven't updated REIN yet. Maybe they haven't got an offer yet. Maybe it's just a little bit overpriced. Maybe someone didn't read about that $10,000 that they're offering, or $10,893 or whatever it was. But this is an easy way that you can send a quick text instead of like, okay, what's this number? Let me write the number down. Let me copy it. Let me go into my text. Let me send the text, kind of thing. And then here at the bottom, there's the contact agent thing again. And then here's something helpful at the very bottom is the history. So I don't know that this is a complete history for this listing period, it's not a complete listing for the listing itself in its entirety. Like when you're in Matrix and you click on the listing history, it shows you previous listings and things like that. This is the history for this iteration of the listing. So it was last updated 1 day ago. If it's been on the market a while, this will show you price reductions. It'll show you if it's gone pending and come out. So, there's a little bit of information you can find there. So that was the, show me what's around me kind of thing. So let's go. How do I get out of here? That's not it. Oh, here are home. So going back to your home screen, if you have an MLS number, you can search by MLS number. I will do an advanced search quite a bit because they'll ask me, this was one that came up the other day. My client asked me, it's like, hey, while we're out, can we see 1914 Zinser? And I'm like, if you can spell it, I can show it. So I just plugged that in. Oh, and it didn't pop up. Oh, it's because it's It's a Z.
Oh, I've had problems finding some, but again, I'm still kind of fumbling through it and learning it and getting comfortable with it, but this helps a lot.
All right, well,
I
so
feel
let's,
like when I search in, just hitting the map search button at the bottom
Mhm.
and then typing in the numerical address in the search bar is super fast. Same with regular REIN. If I'm on the home screen in Matrix, sometimes if I type the street name in, it won't even come close. But if I simply type in the numerical address only, it pops a list up and it's always up there.
Yeah, Ryan, I've been doing maps since you taught me to do them. And that's
yeah.
like go-to as well. So
Again, this isn't perfect, but it is powerful.
Mhm.
it
So
is.
Yeah.
here's a search that we can do in Matrix that we can't do here. So I know the house number is 1914. I know it's Zinzer. I don't know how to spell it. So in Matrix, you can plug in an asterisk, right?
Hmm.
That says, okay, it starts with ZIN, and then we don't know how it finishes. So give me everything that's 1914 Zin kind of thing. I do that, I hit search, no properties found. All right, that's a failure on the part of this system. But here's the other thing. I don't know the house number, but I do know that it is Zinzer. I hit search. Oh, look,
Boom.
several properties on Zinzer. Who would have thought? But the one my client was interested in was this one on 1914. So I pulled it up by address, and then I can go through and it shows you right here. See the current price, 275. Most recently was 279.5, which is a 2% drop in the price. And if we go on down here to history, here's the history for this listing. Came on the market April or March 8th at 285. Went pending March 13th. Something happened. They came back on the market, and then they've been dropping the price ever since. So, they've had a total 3.5% price change over the 39 days it's been on the market. So similarly, again, I know there's a listing on Alamance that's for sale. I don't know the house number.
Hey.
Hey, look at this.
Oh.
Look at this piece of crap. So there's this now. Ryan, are you updated?
Yeah.
So there's contingent right there.
Which could be home inspection or sale of.
So whatever the contingency
Yeah.
is, inspection, HOA docs, which Courthouse Estates is in an HOA, could be first right of refusal, whatever the contingency is, but that's contingent. Now, if you want to know more about what it is, you scroll right down and you can see right here, what are the contingencies? Oh, home inspection, POA, and condo. Great. Now this is where you then could come down and click on contact agent at the bottom and say, hey, Ryan, I see this is under contract. Let me know if it falls apart. I have a very excited buyer. They saw it Saturday morning and they just now realized they want to make an offer. And now Ryan has someone that says that he knows to put on the list, like, okay, if this falls apart, I may have a backup offer. Or he can come back to you and say, hey, anything's possible. Why not write it up as a backup offer? And I'll hold it and, let you know as soon as the other one falls to pieces, maybe because it's, the financing is maybe fed, or maybe because the buyers have a home to sell or whatever. Anything's possible in this market, and you don't get if you don't ask.
It's happened before.
It's happened before. All right, so now what happens if you want to know a little bit more about the property? What was the address of that one, Ryan?
2625.
2625 Alamance. Now, before you click search, go down here to listing status. And so it's giving you active and pending as a default. What if I wanted to know when the last time it sold was? What if I want to know if it had ever expired or had been withdrawn or fallen through? I click these other buttons, click apply, click search, and it gives me nothing. It should give me, they just bought it, what, in 2021, I think?
18.
2018.
18 or 19, yeah.
So it should have given me the previous listing, but it didn't here, unfortunately. So let me go back out and make sure. Listing status all. Oh, did I apply? I did apply. Search. Yeah. So it's a good app. It's not the best, right? Because Matrix on your desktop is going to be the most powerful. But you can also, search, do a full-on search for everything else. So let's do a search in Chesapeake. Apply that. We're looking at, well, let's go back and reset our listing criteria. We just want active listings. We need 4 bedrooms. We need more than 2 baths. Living area, we can search and set living area. So I have clients that need at least 2,400 square feet. Price, oh, very important. We need price. So they're shopping in the 400 to 500 range. Up, something moved on the left. So we apply that. Property type here at the top. I'm apologize, I'm bouncing around, but this is just what's catching my eye as we do this. So they're looking for detached, not attached, and they're not looking for rentals. So we'll take rental off at the bottom. We'll take land and farm off. So we click apply and let's see what we have. Hey, we have some stuff that we can buy. Now, here's where it would be really awesome is as we're scrolling through all these results that see how this one says pending, these two actually, it'd be great if like this one for 26 days on the market, I can't believe it's still available. So let's see what's going on here. Now see, it's contingent, right? It would be really great if we were scrolling through and we could say, oh, this one's in yellow. So it's contingent instead of having to go click, 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 click and get all the way in there. Kind of thing. Because this is really easy. Like, oh, you wanted to see the one on Annika Loop? It's under contract. I'm sorry. Jolliffe Landing Parkway, under contract. I'm sorry. So that's just little changes that I've asked REIN to make. And while we're on that point, I'm on the REIN user group. So if you have not complaints, but if you have things that you would like to see, or if you wonder why REIN does things a certain way, let me know. I recently got lot size approved after 3 years of begging. So where that when you generate a listing and you pull in from the tax record, it will auto-populate the lot size from the tax record. You can always delete that out if you want, but it auto-pops now. So it only took me 3 years. So don't expect magic overnight, but they are willing to change, though slowly. Let's go back out here. So you can create saved searches. You can pull them in from Matrix if you have any saved on Matrix. Any properties you have favorited. So here are some that apparently I favorited back in 2023. InstaView. I don't know what InstaView is.
That's if you're at the neighborhood.
Oh, that's right.
That's when it's
So,
within, I think, 400 feet. It's got, or
yeah,
410.
you can see right there at the bottom, 410 feet. So, great for like condos or townhomes, right? That would be awesome. And then here's the hot sheet
Oh, yeah.
from the MLS. So here's Virginia Beach. And let's see what's on the hot sheet. Since April 11th, almost a week, we've had 167 new listings, 97 went pending, 96 closed, 8 price increases and 30 price decreases. And then of course you can change it here to like what's happened just within the last day. Right, so we have these things up here. So just some quick data points. Here are your active listings. So you can search or sort by status date, price, right? And listings are always going to pop up. If anyone's looking for a 2-bedroom rental on 81st Street at the beach, there's one for $1,200.
That's amazing these days.
Is it
210
seasonal?
81st Street, number B. That's what I'm looking. See, so now I have to go and click around. Possession
Pull it up.
immediate. General description.
I literally just saw somebody this morning that would probably like that 1,200.
Available for lease through 9/30/24
Oh,
with the potential for month-to-month after. Only repairs to be made by landlord are those required for occupancy.
Oh, boy.
hey, that means something's up.
We've lost it. Did it come back? Oh, here we are. Come back, come back.
Lease type negotiable. One picture. I love that yard. God, those live oaks are incredible.
Are you still seeing it on the screen or?
No, but I'm looking at it on the MLS
Okay.
right now.
Well,
There's only one photo.
Yeah, there's only one photo.
I think that's telling you something.
Yeah, I do too. They're selling the trees. God, I'd sit in those trees. Ugh.
Treehouse, 1,200 a month.
I don't wanna do anything to them except stare at them. They're beautiful.
All right, so my connection to my phone is crapped out, so I'm seeing error messages on my screen. What are you guys seeing? You seeing the Zoom?
Yeah, I just see
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so here in the room, we're seeing, error messages. So anyway, that's kind of the quick and dirty on MLS Touch. I am by no means an expert in it. There's plenty more that I'm sure you could learn about. I encourage you to go back to the REIN MLS website and click on some of those tutorials, learn a little bit more about those things. But it's definitely easier to search for property out in the wild, as I call it, using MLS Touch than it is trying to figure out how to work Zillow, how to work Matrix on your phone. There is a mobile version of Matrix, but you have to log in to Matrix and then click your name and then go down to mobile version. So that's not exactly the smoothest or easiest way to go with that. But yeah, that's what we have to replace HomeSnap at the moment. It's better than other things that are out there, and it's not as good as some things that are out there. But it's going to be much more up to date because it's connected to REIN directly than Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com or any of the other apps. So I encourage you to download this, play around with it, use it, figure out shortcuts and hacks with it. Just like with our Lockbox app, sometimes you may have to crash it to reset it. So just, be patient with it. Always defer to your clients and say, look, according to what I'm seeing here on the mobile version of the MLS, this is it. But as soon as I get back in front of my computer, I will look that up and get more information for you.
It's actually quite handy. I'm glad I have it, but you do on that Insta view, you do literally almost have to be on top of the house because I've done it from like 500 feet. And then,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
So
if you go into the map and hit the little arrow key, it'll just it'll pull you back to exactly where you are. You can see anything around you as long as you don't have a numerical address typed in. Sometimes I get caught up with that. There's like a subtle quirk where if you have searched something in the past in the map key and you try to zero in on yourself, if you don't delete the address and hit done, then it won't get rid of that address and show you what's around you.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's the other thing too, is just like when you're searching in Matrix, if you have anything in your search screen That may
Right there,
be
yeah.
precluding other listings from popping up. And I've done that before. It's like I'm searching for houses in Ocean Lakes, and I'm trying to get the Ocean Lake subdivision to come up. But I'm still searching a previous search that's not 44,
Mhm.
which is where
Mhm.
Ocean Lakes is, or I'm looking in
Yeah.
Chesapeake and I haven't reset the search.
Yeah.
Or I haven't set from, like, why am I only getting townhomes? There's gotta be a detached home in Ocean Lakes. Oh, I have attached, click instead of detached. So
Mhm.
just, think about those things too. It's like, do I have anything that is selected? Do I need to hit the reset button? Do I need to crash the app and start over? Things like that. You can't break MLS Touch. I have tried for years to break REIN and to break everything they sent out to us and break MLS. You can't break it. So just feel free to crash the app, start over, reset. Blame the app. If you're out in the wild with your clients and it's just not working, say, this stupid app, it's not as good as the desktop version. I wish our MLS would get it together. And they'll understand. And then you can go back to Zillow if you want and see. It's like, oh, here it is on Zillow. Let me see if I can get to the agent and call that way. But just breathe, relax. The more you play with it, the more you'll learn about it and the easier it will get. But just learn what you can about it. It's a valuable tool, and I think it'll make your lives a little bit easier. Any other thoughts or questions on MLS Touch?
Thank
love it.
thank you for kind of giving me the good crash course on it. Because I have it and I've had it and I don't use it that often, because usually I try to just be in front of the computer, but it's very nice to have that. And I think it works a lot better than the REIN MLS on the go app we had.
Mm-hmm.
I had more problems. It was really hard for me on that one. It's a lot easier on this one. I feel like they definitely.
And there are various improvements in the works, right? So we have a new matrix interface coming probably later this year, where they're updating that. This app is always being updated, MLS Touch. And then there are other things out there that as they come along, the REIN user group that I'm on, we vet some of these things to say, okay, yeah, this is actually worth REIN's energy to try and bring on board, or like, what, we've done some beta testing on this. This is not going to work for us. This is not the way we work in this market, kind of thing. So we've killed some things in the past. We've brought some things to the forefront. But any changes or improvements you'd like to see across REIN, just shoot me an email, and some of it I may already have the answer for, like, why that doesn't exist. Other things it may be things we have not thought of yet. And we'll take those under consideration, and I'll work it up the food chain. But otherwise, that's all we have for this week. I thank everyone for joining us. Everyone's a blur on my screen, like you're part of the witness protection program. So this is awesome. So I'm just going to wave and say goodbye and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.